Okay.
We know nothing.
Jon Snow will build the wall. And
We know nothing.
Hashtag Mexican Space Program.
Oh.
Anyways, welcome all to Hit or Miss.
White Walker Space Program.
Ooh.
White Walker Space Program.
That's
Oh,
when
man.
the Canadians spill over the northern wall.
All right. Well, I'm Night Strike. Tonight here, we've got the musical stylings of the entire panel because we all did the whole Game of Thrones thing just because we had nothing better to do.
It's because we like seeing Emilia Clarke naked.
I can neither confirm or nor deny that. All right, I'm going to introduce my panels tonight. Polecat, what's up?
Nothing.
Awesome, you got a nice image up there. And Never Enough Ammo.
Yeah,
It's a
you know
pleasure
you're
to see
digging
ya.
this image. You know you're digging this image right here. That's what you want to see.
No, I'm pretty sure my image is what they want to see. But
Choose the form of your destroyer, as Bill Whittle says.
And Sean Ponery, what's up?
Hey, have any of you seen my emails?
No.
I seem to have lost them today.
I see what you did there. And Smeggy, thank you for your awesome contribution.
His power ballad.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? I don't have anything witty to say.
Not yet. Wait until you get home. But tonight we're going to talk about, I don't know, do you guys want to talk about politics tonight and then just go into guns, or do you just want to talk guns tonight? What do you
Well,
guys
the war is tomorrow, so...
Wait, what?
Typically the war is tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's definitely some tough politics we're going to have to discuss tomorrow. But
The War of the North, that's for damn sure.
Well, the only good news I heard today was Ted Cruz was interviewed after he returned to Capitol Hill, and he said that based off of the Nebraska primary result, he may actually re-enter the race if he feels like he still has a chance to somehow get into a contested convention.
So,
the
Ted
problem
Cruz
with
and Jon Snow?
The problem with that is, though, that if they pull some shenanigans at a brokered convention and Trump doesn't get the nomination, even though he has an extreme plurality of delegates, and then he runs as an independent, that ensures Hillary's victory, and that would be worse than
Not necessarily. You see, there is a movement involved right now, nationwide, which is kind of an idea that I've been playing with, too. See, people here in Texas were actually considering to petition to ask Ted Cruz to run as an independent if he has to. But on the other side, a lot of young, disenfranchised Bernie Sanders supporters are asking his guy, or their guy, to do the same thing because he keeps winning state after state after state and he's not getting any of the delegates. And that is a blatant ripoff. So it might
That's the
just
Democratic
blow up
Party
into a
for you.
four-party race, which means we can finally get rid of this two-party nonsense. I mean, unless you like the lesser of two evils system for the rest of our lives.
vote for the lesser of four evils then.
Exactly. A little bit more variety is not necessarily a bad thing. Only problem is if that were the case, it would only be a two-horse race in Texas because the application time or deadline for any extra parties other than the two has expired. Yesterday was the deadline. Nobody applied to run third ticket.
Well,
so there will only be tickets on, or two parties on the ballot.
no, that's not true. The Libertarian Party is on all 50 state ballots, whoever they pick. So it will be at least a three-way there.
Here's the thing. I just got a message because I have Windows 10, and I know it's Windows 10, but it's better than Windows 8 on my laptop. So
What's wrong with
Better than
Windows 10?
7 in a lot of ways,
I
too.
don't. I don't like.
Windows 10 is the Hillary of the computing world, you know.
Yeah, I know, but either way, it's better than 8. So here's the thing. I just got a message via the mail app on it saying that, or the news app excuse me, that Trump just won Nebraska. So
Yeah, it's with like what 0.5% reporting in. It hasn't even like the polls just closed 14 minutes ago. So
well, that's what they're saying right now. Maybe it's all digital and they can count this, without having to do anything. But who knows?
11. You're right, actually. 11% are in. It just didn't update. He's up 15 or 67 to 14. So yeah, he definitely won that.
Yeah. So he won that. I don't know what's going to happen from there, but hey,
Well, it is with only 11% coming in too. So I mean, it's a long night.
I mean, tomorrow we can wake up and it'll be updated. And
Let's be honest here. Let's all of us just stop. Let's stop blowing the smoke up everyone's collective asses. Okay, it is going to be Trump Hillary. This is what we are looking at. It's going to be Trillery. Okay, this is what we're going to be facing. So at this point, it is time to simply decide what you're going to do. If you are someone like myself, you're going to vote Libertarian. That's how it's going to roll, because that is certainly the lesser of all the evils, because they're not necessarily evil, although I don't agree with everything that the Libertarians say, but that's what you're going to do. And now that Donald Trump has officially come out and said that he does not need conservative votes, that it is, he literally had an interview where he said it's the Republican Party, not the Conservative Party. I think his exact quote after saying that, or right before saying that, was, "Does the party have to be unified for me to win? I don't think so. I'm different. I have millions of people who voted for me who will help me win. I don't need the conservatives. So you know what? Fuck you." There you go. Have fun with that. So if you're a Trump supporter, you're apparently,
well,
you're Republicans, you're not conservatives. That's what he thinks.
Let's split the hair a little bit. What he's saying is he doesn't
split the comb over.
Yes, he'll split the comb over, and the thing is he's basically saying I don't need this percentile of the Republican Party, because not every Republican is what you would consider a conservative. I mean, there's what they have, the religious right, they've got conservatism, they've got just people who act the old-fashioned way, pretty much. There's different factions.
But the Republicans are supposed to be across the board. That is something that is supposed to be consistent among Republicans, that they are conservative. Now, of course, we've seen progressivism, infiltrate the Republican, the GOP. Okay, we've seen them. So they say they're conservative, but there's a lot of them aren't. Of course, we're talking more about politicians rather than just your average Republican voter. But your average Republican voter, in general, I would say 90% are conservatives, or they consider themselves conservatives across the board. Now, they may consider themselves other things as well. Maybe they're conservative Tea Partiers, or conservative libertarians, or conservative capitalists, or conservative whatevers. But most of them, by a very, very large percentage, considers themselves conservative. They buy into the conservative principles and values and everything that's associated with that, on top of maybe they're also a fucking KKK member or something. I don't know. Right?
See, that's the thing. That's like one facet of it. It's just sort of like saying that all Democrats are far left liberal socialists. That's one section of their whole wing, I guess, if you want to call it that. But I mean, I see what you're saying, because the bigger movement in the Republican Party should lean towards conservatism, not like the religious right, the far end or whatever.
Well, exactly, because you have the people who are the religious right that are also conservatives, and you have the people that are not the evangelicals, but they're also conservatives. You have the ones that are your Tea Partiers, but they're also conservatives. And conservatism is the one thing that almost every Republican has in common. So, and that's why they are supposed to be a conservative party. That's that's where they started. That's kind of been the thing that has guided their party for 140 some odd years, or however long it's been now. So, that for a presidential nominee running on a Republican ticket to say, we are not conservatives, we are Republicans, and I don't need you to win. I've got all the people who already voted for me in the primaries. I don't need you.
I know why he's doing that, though.
It's not. All he's doing is, now if he's going after Democrats, then I can understand that line of thinking. and maybe that's why this, last week he said he's for higher taxes and universal health care and, everything else that's very, very liberal as opposed to conservative. Maybe he's going after Democrats. That's fine. And if that's what he's doing, that's what he's doing.
Could you be persuaded or convinced, possibly? I mean, not from me, but I'm just saying, like, as time goes by, could you be persuaded into maybe thinking that he's trying to pull a no labels party? Because the thing is he knows he's not conservative. Everyone knows that he knows that. They know he's not.
No, they don't. That's the problem, because that's what we've been saying. That's what we've been saying in the frickin', for the last 6 to 8 months. We've been saying he's not conservative, and all those people are like, yes, he is. He's the most conservative candidate there. He's a hard-line, right-wing guy. He's going to build a wall and make us great again and all this shit. Right, and it was bullshit. We called it out and said, no, he's going to be a middle-of-the-road guy because he's been frickin',
He can't be middle of the road. That's the problem, you see, because what has happened in this election is a corporate takeover of a business. The Republican National Committee, the Democratic National, those are just businesses. He has literally done a corporate takeover. So now that he's the head of the business, now he's like, okay, now I'm going to reshape this in my image. So let's take all the labels and all the history and just throw it out the window, and we're going to redefine it in my image. You're either for me or against me. That's pretty much the thing.
Trump's a populist, and I think that's the big difference between him and Hillary. Okay, like Trump is for Trump, so Trump will do what the majority of people want, be that like lax gun control or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily a great thing. I would prefer that he were like a small government or anti-government conservative candidate. But Hillary, on the other hand, is going to do whatever Goldman Sachs wants her to do, not what the people want her to do. So between the two evils, I still think Trump is the lesser of them.
It's just unfortunate that we're still making our decisions based off of that most archaic principle. Which pile of shit smells the worst?
Well, I
hate to give credit, but Yankee summed it up perfect. You have the bloodthirsty monkey that you know is going to eat you, and you have a bag that's covered with shit, but you're not quite sure what's inside it. That's really the best way. Like, we know Hillary's evil. We don't know if Trump's on our side or not, but at least he's not a known enemy.
Well, actually,
I'm still going libertarian, so I'm not going to vote for Trump.
That's the thing. But now the point is moot, right? Now it's done. He is the nominee for all intents and purposes. All right, unless something weird happens, he's the nominee. So at this point, it doesn't matter. We can talk about the things that, it is what it is. The time was. Or the time to bring all this shit up was 6 months ago, which is what people like myself and a lot of other people were trying to do, because we were trying to say, hey, these are the things Trump's going to do. He's not a conservative. He is a populist candidate. He's telling you he's conservative. He's telling you he cares about all the stuff that you care about. He's telling you he gives a crap about building a wall. He's telling you all the things you want to hear, but he doesn't mean any of them. And we tried to say this, and we tried to tell people that, and people said, no, that's not true. He is a conservative. He does care about building a wall. He does care about all the things that I care about. He's blah, 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 whatever, across the board. He's not going to raise taxes. He's not going to do all this kind of stuff. He's not really for universal health care. That was just a screw-up. He just said something. He didn't really mean it. Well, now we know he is a populist candidate. He's coming out and saying he is. So now what you've got 40% of the Republican Party who now feel they have to defend this guy after realizing they've been fucking duped. Okay, that's what's happening right now, is you're seeing people go, oh, shit. Every single thing that they said that he was is what he is. So you want to talk about whether or not he's better than Hillary Clinton, and obviously he is better than Hillary Clinton in many ways. Honestly, for me, he's better than Hillary Clinton in that I don't know where he stands on the Second Amendment. And because of that, that's better than her, because I know where she stands, and it's bad, right? Other than that, he is not better than Hillary Clinton at all. At all.
He disagrees with Obama's policy, so that's what makes him better. Because she agrees with Obama's policy, which means her election will just be 4 more years of Obama.
And look at it this way, too, all right? The Republican Party has been fucked for a while.
Both parties have.
Well, the Republican Party has had no chance of winning an election for some time. But they keep coming up with these neocons and establishment douchebags and stuff like that, and it's like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So even if nothing else comes from this other than the Republican Party being burned down so that it can be rebuilt into something that's actually relevant in the current age, then that's something, you know what I'm saying?
See, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to steal a little something I heard from Hannity for the last 2 months. What we could say is there were 17 people that were on the Republican ticket running for the presidency. And in most cases, most of us, logical, educated, informed people can make an argument for all 17 of those candidates that could have made a good president in some form or fashion. Maybe we didn't support them, but if that was the presumptive nominee instead of Trump, we could probably find something that would say, okay, this is still better. The thing is to rebuild the party and to absolutely unify the voting base is really simple for Trump to do. All he has to do is write down the top 10 concerns of the nation that he will address, put it down on paper, take the 7 or 16 other candidates that he ran against, and build his cabinet off of them because they are the most talented conservative leaders of our nation today. So if he makes a contract with America and he writes down these top 10 things and he promises to do these things and puts his name in fucking ink on this contract in front of everybody, just like when he swore his pledge to the party, and he says, I'm going to make Ben Carson, a secretary, or I'm going to make him the FDA chair, and I'm going to make Ted Cruz my vice president, and I'm going to make John Kasich like the Secretary of State. He starts appointing cabinet positions to all these people that ran against him. That's how he unifies the party. He makes a promise, he puts it in writing, he signs his name on the dotted line in front of everybody, and he builds a cabinet off of all these talented people that he actually leaped over and beat. That's how you do it. That's the intelligent way to do it.
Yeah, but do you think he's going to do that?
As a businessman, it makes sense for him to do nothing but that.
I understand that. But as I have been saying for a long time, I don't necessarily think he's a smart businessman. Okay? Okay,
he's had to survive this long.
He's an egotist above everything else. I'd be 100% sold and on board if he was willing to say, you know what, all these people that I ran against, they were all good people. And I should bring them in, and I should bring them all on board. There can be something good that all these people can do in the administration and do for this country. And that absolutely, you are right. And I'd be like, you know what? He just made a good move. I like him, and I will vote for him if he does that. I would. I absolutely, hands down. I tell you right now, if he did that, okay, sure, you have my vote. There you go. You did something. You did something very, very smart, very intelligent. You finally lived up to the thing you keep saying, which is I'm going to surround myself with great people, good people, and I'd be like, all right, cool. I don't necessarily like all those people, but they all have their own pros, and if he found places to put them that would benefit the country, I'd be completely sold to be on board and be like, all right, so this is a team effort now, and he's making a good move as the leader of the pack. I'm sold. I don't think he's going to do that because he's an egotist first and foremost. Period.
See,
and
the fact that he's coming out.
The fact that he is coming out already and saying he doesn't need conservatives, that he's got his voting bloc and they're the ones who are going to take him to the top, basically saying everybody else can kiss his ass. That's not the words of somebody who wants to come off as okay, I'm gonna bring this coalition of people together, and I'm gonna look like a smart guy who got everybody on board. I'm gonna look like the leader that I'm trying to be, and I'm gonna take advantage of all my available rounds in the chamber, as it were, to bring it back to a gun thing.
Sure.
I'm gonna take advantage of all of it, all the ammo I've got, which is all these smart people that I ran against. That's not the same attitude. So unless he's just gonna pull a 180 at some point,
you mean like he's done all campaign?
Well, yeah. Well, exactly.
Okay.
But except here's the difference, though. Here's the difference.
Right.
The 180s that he has pulled so far in the campaign have been fucking choreographed. It's like watching a movie you've watched 100 times. I mean, back last June, Okay, when he announced he was going to run for president, I could have told you everything he was going to do. And now he's doing all of them. I could have told you he'd been for universal health care and that he'd fucking want higher taxes and be for tariffs and all this other bullshit. And that he's not conservative, doesn't give a shit about conservatives, that he's a populist candidate. This is all stuff we've been saying for almost a year now. This is stuff this is stuff I was researching back in 2011 when he was thinking about running against Obama back then. I remember watching an interview, and I forget who it was, where fucking Breitbart, before he died, now that they're Trump part, you know, and they're basically on Trump's taint, but the man, Breitbart, hated Donald Trump, okay? Breitbart hated Donald Trump and basically said, look, anybody who thinks he's a conservative is an idiot. He's not a conservative. He doesn't need to run as a Republican. He needs to go back and run as a Democrat because that's what side of the aisle he belongs on. These are things we've known for a very long time. So the only way that he's done a 180 is in that people who were, quite honestly, dumb enough to fall for him saying he was a conservative are now going, wait, he's doing a 180, whereas most of us were looking at it and going, no, he's not. He's just been blowing smoke up your ass the whole time. He's always been this way. So there is a difference. Whereas when he comes out and says, I got millions of people voting for me, I'm good. This is a Republican Party, not a conservative party. I don't need conservatives. I've got my people who are going to vote for me. They're the ones who are going to take me to the top. That's not blowing smoke up anybody's asses. That's Trump being Trump.
But you're
That's
saying the
himself.
one thing. You're saying that the last thing he's done is not as choreographed as everything else he's done. You say all of a sudden he just put the brakes on the drama, and I don't buy that yet.
What do you mean?
Okay.
He may be waiting until he gets
how he was going to run, and everything he's done, and all his 180s are choreographed moves.
I'm saying choreographed in that. I'm saying it's like when I say choreographed, I'm saying it's not intentional from him. I'm saying it's like it's choreographed because people like me and you too can call all this shit. We can look, I know what he's going to do next. I've seen this movie 100 times before. It's not that he's doing it on purpose.
Choreographed. I think he did this as a calculated move because think about it like this.
I want to know why because I can't figure this shit out.
What group in his own party is the biggest critic?
I don't see how this gets him any sort of togetherness out of the party or out of anybody, quite honestly, unless he's going after Democrats. Because what he's doing right now is throwing out liberal arguments and throwing out liberal policies. So is he going after Democrats? Because if he is, that's great. And if he can pull Democrats to make up for the conservatives he's lost, then more power to him, man. And like I said, I'd rather have him than Hillary Clinton. But that's a large pull, especially when the Democrats have a larger base, and the Democrats are just like the Republicans. Okay,
all right.
They may hate Hillary Clinton. You know, they may look at her and go, she's an asshole. But you know what? She's their asshole, and they'd still rather vote for their asshole than our asshole. Okay, so that's the only thing I'm seeing is what is he doing, pushing conservatives away by basically saying, I've got my voting block. I don't need you. You can go away. I don't care about conservatives.
I have an answer to that.
Okay, go.
Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to put this out there before we go any further. I feel really dirty for defending him because I'm a Cruz guy, okay? Because I'm looking at party over principle just for now. The way I believe this is happening or why this is happening, you could see it during every debate. You can see it when the press attacks him. If you punch him, he will punch you back 10 times harder and 10 times louder. It's been the whole campaign he's done that, right?
Yeah.
So his biggest critics in the party are markedly conservative people. So what's he doing? This is his way of hitting back. Every move he's done is calculated. That's why he's gained so much popularity as the table flipper. Now, we all knew Cruz before the rest of the nation, and we knew he was the genuine conservative table flipper. He was the man who made change. But the rest of the nation didn't know that, and then Trump preemptively smeared him by calling him a liar, and the nation bought it. You know, they drank the Kool-Aid or whatever. But now, like you said, this is what we've got to deal with. We've got a Trump, we've got a Hillary, this is it, right? So... Yeah. He's doing these moves because he knows that it creates press. I mean, he spent less than anybody else on this campaign because he's getting free press for the things he says. Also, the reason he says the things he says is because he's not a politician. He has no experience in politics. He doesn't know how to be politically correct. He knows how to be blunt and honest at the moment. What he believes in at that moment is what you're going to get. And if his mind changes the next day, that's what you're going to get tomorrow. Whether or not we're going to believe today or tomorrow, that's one thing or the other. But if we get him to put it down on paper in front of the nation, or if we get him to do it, as he's campaigning, and all of a sudden he finds a platform and sticks with it, that's when we start to believe him. We've got 6 months left. He can still do this cabinet thing. He can still convince the nation. But you still have to remember, he's going at this as a businessman, not a politician. We're holding him and judging him in regards as a politician when we shouldn't, because he's not one. So he's very unorthodox. Everything he does, he's rewriting all the rules of the campaign in real time. That's why his own party doesn't know how to handle him. That's why he's having this meeting with Paul Ryan on Thursday, because not even Ryan can back him because he doesn't know who the hell he is yet.
Well, and that's the thing, though, isn't it? I mean,
America wants a non-politician.
Politician or not, that's fine. He does not conduct himself in the manner of a politician, which is fine. I don't think anybody has any problem with that. But to say he's not a politician he is a politician in that he has run for office before.
Yes.
He has been in the political field for a long time. Okay, he has dealt with politics, with politicians for decades now. Just because he's never won anything doesn't necessarily mean he's not a politician. It just means he's an unorthodox politician at this point. So
I think it's inexperience and being unorthodox. But I would agree with you.
Because he's never won anything. He hasn't won office yet.
Right.
He's only run. He's actually run only one time before this, and that was.
I think he tried in '96 also.
I thought he was going to, but then he didn't at the last minute.
He did a lot of interviews, but like you were saying too. I think all the times before he was dipping his toe in the pool, so to speak, and this was like an exploratory experiment, and then he realized, oh, this is over my head, and he'd back out every time, right? But I think you were saying in like 2012 or maybe even 2008, he tried to do it a little bit. He had an exploratory committee, and there was nobody interested in him at the time. The nation wasn't mad enough to say, we don't want a non-politician yet. Now they do, and this is where he is.
Yeah. No, he lucked out this time around because he's tried it before and nobody cared.
I want him to win. I want him to fail, and in 4 years, I'm just going to take his place.
There you go.
It's just all there is to it.
See, I think
you realize if you're going to run for anything, you're going to have to find a way to get rid of all of these live chats that you've been a part of.
No.
I'm using the live chats as my commercial. I'm running next time.
That's the funny thing. A person like me who would run, a lot of people who support Trump say that they are, he is the blue collar candidate, right? He's a billionaire. He builds things, right? So they can relate to him somehow. And they have all these stories about how he shows up on the job sites during these building things, bringing pizza and yelling at people and, doing his thing or whatever, right? And it's like, no, if you want a blue-collar guy, you take a guy like me who's been working for the same boss for the last 14 years, who actually knows what the struggle of bills and mortgages and family and everything is like. I didn't have everything handed to me like he did. Something like that runs for president and says, America first, because he lives in America. He actually deals with America every day, not from the 50th floor of a penthouse.
I'm feeling like this has turned into a campaign video. Go for it, man.
Well, the thing is like a person like me who would run, the smear campaign would be next to nothing. They would only have these chats because they've got nothing on me. I haven't done anything yet, to be corruptible. Yeah. That's what true. America's looking for, an anonymous, non-politician. And, someday somebody's going to have to understand that a president can't do what he says anyway. He has Congress to contend with. A president just needs to be a dreamer, a guy with great ideas, and then he just has to find a supporting cast to help him see those.
And that's as it should be. The majority of political power should be with Congress. The executive has way too much power in this day and age.
Well, only when they abuse executive order. You know what I mean? Like there's been good, like Reagan, he didn't abuse executive orders, so he worked with the Congress because they considered him a Democrat that took over the Republican Party even back then. And then what did he do when he needed a vice president? He took the number 2 guy that ran against him. He took George W. Bush as his VP. He won by landslides because he knew how the system worked.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know we said we were going to talk about politics, and like 2/3 of this chat have been politics so far. Let's talk about the R's.
I actually have something to talk about. If you want to be mad at anti-gunners and stupid articles.
Is that what you typed this morning in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, share it, man. That's a good story.
All right. If you guys will bear with me for a minute, I'm going to screen share and go to this article. You all see it?
Yep.
Oh my, what's going on over here? Whoa.
Click it.
Dude, I don't want to see your porn collection. That's
Sorry
disgusting.
about that. Anyways.
Yeah, my screen share is my porn collection. Ew.
So Mark Kelly says, he can, hang on, let me read this first thing. So Mark Kelly understands how to pilot a spaceship or space shuttle, but doesn't get why the hell Congress won't stop people on the TSA no-fly list from shopping at gun shows. And then it goes blah blah blah. He's a dude with some stuff, and the lady got shot. Whatever, who cares? And then mass shootings roll in this country, which has nothing to do with this.
Blah, 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 blah.
Sorry, I know there's some good stuff in here. Here we go. Okay. When you tell someone that suspected terrorists in this country have attempted to purchase guns and explosives from U.S. dealers 2,200 times, they're shocked. And you know what? They're really shocked to find out terrorists, in quotes, or in brackets, were successful 91% of the time. That means we have sold over 2,000 guns, assuming they're only buying one gun at a time, to people we know on the terrorist watch list. Okay, we've sold 2,000 guns to quote-unquote terrorists. And yet
how many guns do you sell
any
every
terrorist attacks. So obviously these 2,000 people on the terrorist watch list are not actually terrorists, otherwise they already would have tried to kill us by now.
Well, maybe they're just too right-wing, and that makes them dangerous.
It's freaking insane.
That's the thing. You're basing that logic assumes that everybody who's on a watch list, everybody who's got themselves on the and again, let's be honest, he's not talking about a terror watch list. He's talking about a no-fly list. Okay, regardless of what he's calling it. Okay, he's talking about a no-fly list, and you're basing that. You're basing your logic on the fact that every single person who ends up on a watch list or on a no-fly list is a terrorist. But here's the problem with that. There are millions of people on the fucking no-fly list, most of them because of screw-ups and or mistakes. And the ones that aren't screw-ups and or mistakes are people that are still not terrorists. They're people who did something stupid or have something questionable that does not make them a fucking terrorist. Okay? That's the problem. The logic assumes that everybody is guilty simply because there is this list out there that is not regulated. Okay, there's nobody going through and checking it. It's not even the equivalent of a NICS background check. Like, they don't do anything. You can literally post something on Facebook that gets taken the wrong way, and after a few phone calls and an email, you end up on a no-fly list. Okay, that's how unregulated this bullshit is, and we're to assume that everybody who ends up on it all of a sudden they are a terrorist. No. 99% of them aren't terrorists, and even that 1% probably aren't terrorists either. They're just,
I would say
related to somebody.
I would say at least 91% of them aren't terrorists because 91% of the people who tried to buy a gun got one, and yet there haven't been terrorist attacks.
Well, they must just be really incompetent terrorists. Okay, so guns are bad, and the only purpose of guns is to kill people, so obviously anybody that would want to buy a gun, period, must be a terrorist, right?
Oh, I was told that if you own a gun, you're just a criminal that hasn't done the act yet. I've actually been told that by people before.
Yeah, every gun sold is a murder waiting to happen or something like that.
Yeah,
what was
the
that
fancy
quote?
word is criminal in potentia.
So I have a theory on this Mark Kelly guy. So every time that he shows, I think the real story here is he's running for office in the future. Because what other astronaut do you see out there that is in the news like this guy is?
And let's understand who this guy is. This is the guy. This is what's her face's husband, the lady who got shot in the face, Kathy Gifford's husband. Okay, that's who this guy.
They have term limits in Arizona.
You know, probably.
Because if they don't, then she can keep running until she gets, unelected. But
Yeah.
if she has a term limitation, then yeah, it makes sense that her husband would run right after her.
Yeah, but that's who this guy is. Okay, before this, they were pro-gun people. Then she got shot, and they went all anti-gun. And then this is also the guy that after all that happened, after they went anti-gun, he got busted rolling into a gun shop trying to buy an AR-15. And when he got, I don't think he got denied or declined, but he got delayed or something. And then somebody saw him and they caught him on camera and they're like, "Hey, aren't you that what's his face? And you got anti-gun?" And he like left and he never went back. And then finally his stuff went through and he never went back and picked up his AR-15 because he got busted on camera. This is a guy who is the definition of a hypocrite in every single way. Jumping on the anti-gun train was just good for him and his wife's political careers and careers as public figures. That's it. That's it. So anything he says is a steaming pile of shit. That's what's coming out of his mouth right now.
Do you know what's the scariest thing about him, though, is when he came back from his year in space or whatnot, he said he was fine, right? And if they asked him to stay up there longer, he could have, and he wanted to go back. And right after that press conference, 48 hours later, boom, he was forced into retirement. What happened to him up there that they're not telling us that he can't continue to do what his passion was in the first place?
Yeah, well, too bad they didn't send him on a Mars 1 mission. You know, that
did
thing
his
where
little swimmers develop 8 tails or something? I mean, what the hell?
So I do kind of want to continue on here because I want to actually give this article credit. Yeah, it's crappy, but like the crappy part was the quote from Kelly, right? And then it's still framed an anti-gun. You know, what's the holdup? It's clearly the gun lobby in the NRA. They're all evil. And he was talking to some dude who was proud of an A rating for the NRA. Well, yeah, you should wear that as a badge of honor. I mean, that's, you're doing good. And then they bring up that it was actually the Bush administration that created the no-fly list. And this is, I guess I don't know. Kelly's the one saying this. I don't know if this is true or not. When the Bush administration created the no-fly list, the White House also said, "Hey, by the way, we really shouldn't allow these people to buy guns either." He added, "I mean, it started with President Bush, but it's still something that Congress was unable to do." I don't know if they went for that or not, but whatever. And they say, yeah, of course, Hillary Clinton's best friends with them. She supports it. Bernie Sanders supports it too. This is interesting, and we'll kind of bring back the first part. On the GOP side, nominee Donald Trump team skirted the issue. "Pass on this one," spokesman Hope Hicks replied. So that's interesting. You can't just be like, "No, that's fucking dumb." Why wouldn't they just answer that?
A lot of times a candidate won't give you an opinion or an answer because he hasn't done any of the research on the subject. So he doesn't want to be pigeonholed on one side or the other until he gets his facts. Like, he may be asked this some other time after he's done the research, and he'll have an answer.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, for some reason, I was trying to talk to you guys, and my mic was not working whatsoever, and I could not get a word in edgewise. I hate you guys.
The inmates ran the asylum. It was fine.
Anyways, I think we've pretty much killed this. You know,
we've done the hour.
We've done almost the hour, but I do want to get into. I still got about 15 minutes left.
Can I do one thing real quick?
We're going to talk about AR-15s or something.
I wanted to, but you guys wouldn't let me. My mic wouldn't work. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, super quick. So this is the part I give them credit. You know, they actually did talk to the NRA that said, you know, the spokesman or whatever. They've never supported the idea of terrorists or dangerous people having access to firearms, and suggesting otherwise is a blatant lie. The truth is that 98% of those watch lists are neither American citizens or resident aliens, so they can't legally purchase a firearm anyways. The truth that terrorists have perpetrated the acts of Fort Hood, Tennessee, and San Bernardino weren't even on the terrorist watch list, so politicizing their evil intentions won't make it any more true. That was it. So at least they went to the NRA side, and, you know, and then they said something about, you know, if you're wrongfully placed on the list, you know, how do you... There's nothing you can do. There's no due process. So that's it. Let's talk about AR-15s.
Real quick,
Okay.
I want to talk about Trump for just a few more minutes.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
No,
Oh, I stopped this shit.
What about the Cinemark thing?
the Cinemark. I haven't heard about
Or
this.
do you want to share? You want to say that for tomorrow?
Why don't we save that for
Honestly,
tomorrow?
that's not something I've heard about. So
We'll
All right, I
hijack
put it in
his
the
chat
internal
tomorrow.
so you can kind of
yeah,
get an
it's like,
idea
hey,
of what it's
everybody
about.
hijacks my chat every week anyway. So
You guys totally.
That's why I
waited
like
almost
coming
a
on-
full hour.
I like coming on other people's chats so I can get a chance to talk over the host. It's nice.
Hell yeah.
Well, to your deference, you were able to talk over me because my mic stopped working. So, that's neither here nor there.
Is Night Strike saying something? I can't hear him.
Yeah,
And to accuse you of not getting a word in edgewise on your own chat, come on, Matt. You can do 5 hours by yourself if no one
know,
joins.
right?
Yeah,
Who's,
of course
who's,
you can.
who's Night Strike? What are you all talking about?
I don't know. I just see his little arm moving.
Who is this guy? Who are you?
For
He is not one of my constituents.
my mic is still working. You're just fucking with me, right?
Yes, we're just.
Yeah. I guess. Well, did he leave? Is he still here?
God damn it! All right,
I thought he was here somewhere. Anyway,
we're
I guess
gonna
we
get
can
to
just
the
kinda keep
topic.
going,
No,
and
no,
we'll
shut
just-
up.
We
Shut
can
up.
talk about AR-15s a little bit. I guess he just doesn't want to finish his chat.
Okay, so now that Matt's muted,
Oh, I hate you guys. I'm gonna do the same thing to you, Matt, tomorrow. Just wait. I'm coming for you.
Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry.
AKs are better.
No, it's Mayar 15. Okay.
I thought it was Makarov.
It was Makarov, but then we changed it to Make 47, and then we changed it. I'm changing it to Mayar 15. So
All right.
there we go. No,
All right,
we're
so
also gonna hijack Matt's.
that we're going to build this
So what
with.
you're saying is May was born Makarov, but now it identifies as Mayar 15.
Yes. And there might have been a Make 47 in there somewhere.
There was a brief transition day of May K-47 yesterday because that's when I finally picked up my AK.
So what ultrasound machine is it allowed to go into?
Oh, that's Matt's chat. Matt'll figure that out tomorrow. So.
We'll solve all the world's problems.
Oh yeah, just like we talked about politics for most of the. Anyways, I just
Sorry.
built an AR-15. I built a rifle-length one. I'm probably. I'm not too fond of it right now. It's not because it's not one of my things. It's just I wanted to build one. I wanted to have one. So I've got
Show
a
it to
rifle-length
us.
one. No, I'm not gonna show it to you right now because my room looks like shit right now. I don't want to have to clean
Well,
it
at
up.
least give us the stats. What's the dealio?
It's just Palmetto State upper parts. It's just an Anderson Palmetto State Armory build. That's it.
Well, now see that's very interesting. I just ordered myself a lower, and it's supposed to be here on Thursday.
Now, where did you get your lower from?
Bud's Gun Shop.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, and that's too lazy to do all that shit. I'll pay the
Yeah.
extra $11 and just get it from Bud's. They have all my shit on file. They have my FFL on file and everything. So I'm gonna start doing a build, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing a rifle build instead of a carbine. I've been wanting one for years. I've been wanting to build a classic rifle. Fixed buttstock, carry handle, everything, all the way. Just a classic rifle, and so that's what I'm going with.
Here's the thing. I got the buttstock parts, or the rifle buffer tube, and the spring and the rifle buffer. But I got the actual rifle stock for like $10 off of eBay, and it's an old USGI
Nice.
beat up USGI part. So I scored $10 for that with free shipping. That's pretty good, even if it's beat up, even if it's got lettering or whatnot on it. The fact that it was USGI, that makes all the difference.
Yeah, man, I'd love to get an old M16 parts kit and build an old school AR out of it. Did you get a?
This is just the rifles, the buttstock. Okay, that's all it was.
Did you get an A1 buttstock or an A2 buttstock?
I think it's an A1 buttstock, but I'm using
Did you have to put a little like half-inch spacer on the end of the buffer tube to get it to fit?
Yeah.
Or not? You did. That's an A2 buttstock then, I think.
It's an A2.
I really like the A2 buttstock a lot. I hate the M4 buttstock, the adjustable one, because it always seems to be floppy, and the A1 buttstock just seems to be a little too short for me because I'm kind of a tall guy. So
Well, the
A2
the M4 waffle pattern always rattles around and like pinches my beard hair. So I prefer solid buttstocks or the Magpul. They seem to have a really tight factory fit for being a more economical stock versus like a SOP mod.
Wendy, you know what you should do then? You should get one of those you know the people that work in the food industry. You know how they have those little nets for their beards and whatnot. You need to get one of those for when you go hunting or when you go use your M4, and that'll fix that problem right there.
You need a hairnet for your face, SA.
I'll take that in consideration.
And I am halfway joking, but it's plausible.
Man, you want to talk about a pain in the ass?
You need to get one with a crit tech pattern on it so it's tactical.
Shoot a sub 2000 with a long beard and then cuss. That sucks, dude.
Well, we'll have to wait until Matt starts growing his beard out for the winter, and then he'll tell us how that works.
Yep.
But
Maverick 88 for the win.
Anyways, I built my AR-15. I like it. Polecat, you said you got an AR.
Yeah, it's the third one down from the top in my picture. It's just it's an Anderson receiver on a 16-inch PSA stainless kit, and I've got just an A2 buttstock and a carry handle sight on it because I like iron sights on guns like that, at least.
Well, this one I just built has a carry handle on it too, so awesome. So, what about you other guys? What about everybody else? We'll go through the list. Heavy B, do you have an AR?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, mine's a parts kit. Mine's a freaking gun. I've just bought parts and built it up piecemeal. So, I mean, I could go over. It's mostly built-on stuff because that's the cheapest crap I can find, but it shoots fine.
There's nothing wrong with that as long as it works. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Unless you're a purist, and at that point, you're probably not even happy with what you got. So.
Well,
If you're a purist, you're buying a Colt.
You're buying a Colt, and you're paying, the sticker price.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Colts, dollar for dollar. If I was going to go and buy a complete AR-15, I would go buy a Colt. You can buy them for $800 now. So you can get them fairly cheap.
Those aren't like this. Those aren't like old school Colts.
Well, no. Those are not old school Colts. So but still, it's that I still trust Colt. I mean, Colt makes most of their own parts. So like you've got a lot of other companies that maybe they make their barrels, okay, or maybe they make their uppers or their lowers or some of their parts. But a lot of these companies, they source parts. That when you buy a gun, I guarantee you, Delton does not build any of their own parts. They don't manufacture their own parts. They source parts from other places. Their uppers, their lowers come from different, aluminum forges, and they probably like some of these companies buy Colt uppers or Colt lower receivers, or you know what I mean, or they're buying Bushmaster parts, or they're buying their barrels from Mossberg. Surprisingly enough, Mossberg makes an ass ton of barrels for ARs and AKs. They sell to a lot of companies. Yeah.
Yoder Texas asked how you're going to fit your Maverick 88 furniture on your new AR-15.
Oh, it'll be easy. You watch. It's going to be real.
He's going to use all that Taurus money to have it grafted on.
Nice.
He won't.
Let's not forget all that Kel-Tec money too.
Oh yeah.
Well, they already gave him that sub 2000, right?
I wish. These companies somebody needs to start giving me some shit.
You want a sub 2000? I'll sell you a sub 2000. I've been trying to get rid of one of those pieces of shit for a long time, and nobody wants the damn thing because it's a piece of shit. Well,
Well, which one do you
Gen 1 or Gen 2?
Gen 1.
Gen 1.
I'll take it.
There was a problem with all of them where there was it's got the plastic receiver, and after you shoot it so many times, there's a place where the ejecting shells wear out the receiver and it starts stovepiping all the time. And if you call them about it, they'll give you a clip that clips in there, a little metal clip that's supposed to fix it, but the clip just pops out.
It's a magazine.
Fuck it. No, dude, I've tried all of my magazines. It takes Beretta 92 magazines, and like the magazines.
No, I was just correcting you.
It's just. No, it's
shit.
I get you.
See, Matt, I told you. It's Beretta bags. I fucking told you.
It's what?
He said it takes Beretta 92 mags.
My particular one does, yeah.
Yeah, there's models
There's
that take
three
Berettas,
models.
models that takes Smith & Wesson mags, and models that take the Glock mags. Those are the three that they make.
All right, Matt.
Actually, the only difference between them is the magazine release. So you can buy one for like that takes like Smith and Wesson mags, and get a different magazine release from Keltec and install it in there if you want to use Beretta 92 magazines.
Oh, nice.
So, you know.
That I
Okay,
did not know.
well, Matt, for people who are watching Hit or Miss for the first time and haven't ever seen your videos, which I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm going to ask anyways. What kind of ARs do you have?
I have actually right now. I only have two. I've got a standard, just a 16-inch, just carbine length buffer or carbine length gas system. It's mine was a somewhat of a Franken build. I put this thing together a while back, and this lower I've had for about 5 years. I built this one slowly. It's got a CMMG Teflon coated lower. I've got a Spikes tactical battle trigger in it, all nickel boron. I have a bad lever on there. Why don't I just turn my camera on? That's probably the easiest way to do this, just in case.
If you want to.
Yeah. So, well, now it's not wanting to turn on. There we go. Yay! Anyway, so Magpul furniture, because I like to keep it simple and lightweight. CMMG lower, Black Hawk Ergo grips, my favorite grip. I've got the enhanced trigger guard. Got my bad lever on there. I've got a Maytech rear flip-up sight, just a USGI. Let's see, what else? Vortex Spark for the optic on this one. Just a very simple light Bushnell, which is my favorite. I need to do a video on these lights because I've got like fucking 5 of them floating around the house. It's absolutely my favorite light whatsoever for a flashlight. This is a beautiful light. You can pick them up for $20 at fucking Walmart, for God's sake.
Now, did you build that one yourself, or did
This
you
one I built
buy that?
myself. This one I built. Well, the upper I bought complete. I had.
That's fine.
This is the third upper that I've had on here. This upper I bought complete because I wanted this upper. And because this was a. This has got a an FN cold hammer forged barrel from PSA. And I wanted one, and they just had a really good deal at the time. I wasn't going to have to build it myself, and I was actually going to save myself $50 over what it would have cost me to put this upper together. So I was like, well, hell, why would I build it when I could just put this one together?
Here's the thing: unless I overly state it, most PSA barrels are probably either FN or FN rejects.
Yeah, they are FN barrels, but this one in particular, because it was chrome line and cold hammer forged, as opposed to just a standard, like a 4150 CMV barrel that was just bored instead of hammer forged. So it's just a stronger, tougher barrel than your average barrel, and I had specifically wanted a cold hammer forged barrel with chrome lining for what was going to be my go-to, because this was going to be the AR I was going to keep. I like building them, but I don't necessarily. I've built God knows how many over the last 5-6 years, but I only have this one and an AR pistol. So because those are the ones I want to keep, right? And so I wanted this to be the best it could be. So that's why I went with that barrel. But
awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's your pistol as well, right?
Oh yeah, the pistol. Yeah, this little son of a bitch here. I just built this one about this time last year, I think. So, and again, this is a PSA build. It was just a quick, cheap, and easy. I bought a complete upper and a complete lower and slapped them together. That's all I did with this little son of a bitch right here. So, nothing special about it whatsoever. I mean, as far as actual building it, I didn't do anything. I changed out the grip. I put some Magpul flip-up sights because they're inexpensive. Put a Bushnell TRS 25 on here with a 3/4-inch riser, and that's it, man. I slapped this thing together, and it's run like a damn champ. Oh, and I put the enhanced trigger guard on here as well, and that's a recommendation I would give to everybody. Not only does it look better, but it is functional, and also I would definitely go with the polymer over the aluminum. First of all, they're cheaper, and they can take a beating easier than the aluminum ones. I've seen the aluminum ones crack. So they're half the price. They cost like $7 as opposed to $15 for the aluminum trigger guard for Magpul. And
is that left-handed?
No, of course not.
What is it?
It's my right hand.
Oh, okay. The camera's flipped around.
The camera's flipped.
I was just like, okay, I'm looking at him. That's his left hand, and the button's on that side. What the fuck?
My camera's probably just goofy or something. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Oh, that's fine. I get it. It's mirror image now. I get it. But
Ours was doing that at the shop earlier tonight. I don't know, because the settings were set up for it to do it correctly, but everything was flipped.
I was just confused for a second. That's fine.
There you go. How about that? Is that
Hold
better?
up your right hand now. Yep,
There's my right hand now.
That's good.
There it is.
I think he's a magician and he switched it over like so fast that we didn't even notice. So.
We're now tuning in from Matt from the fourth dimension.
Ooh. I feel like Buckaroo Banzai.
I hear he's going to be headlining in Vegas here with,
There you go. And while we're at it, Maverick 88 porn. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
He just got 30 cents for that little pitch.
I wish, man. Be nice. Shit.
I bet our host mic dropped again.
Yeah, we might as well just go. Okay, so let's talk about Trump here real quick.
Hey, wait, I didn't get to explain my AR, motherfucker.
Yeah, we were just doing that so he'd like fix his mic with a quickness.
Yeah.
Well,
come on,
I'm
Smeggy.
gonna talk about my AR.
Let's talk about your AR. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So, I never clean my AR. I just keep spraying shit into it, and it just keeps shit. So, you know, I'm waiting to see how long it'll go before it actually, before the rumor that ARs have to be cleaned a lot actually comes true.
Just dip some used motor oil in it.
Damn sub 2000s.
I am now pushing 300 rounds through this, and it's run like a motherfucking champ.
You got the only one in the world that actually works then, I think. So
I've actually been
congratulations.
I've been reading a lot of reviews, and a lot of people are saying the Gen 2s are a fast improvement over the Gen 1s. I gotta say, dude, as somebody who hates Kel-Tecs, I look at this thing, and everything that I hate about a Kel-Tec when I first pick one up is not existent on here, man.
Well, maybe I'll have to
finish on this fucker. I mean, this thing, the fit and finish on this damn thing looks perfect. It doesn't look like Kel-Tec made it. You know what I mean? It looks like a real company made this. So, a real actual gun company.
High Point made it.
Not some Cocoa Beach piece of shit.
No,
So,
are you getting paid to say that?
I wish they should pay me. They should say, look, we got somebody that hates Kel-Tecs that actually likes this gun. That's what they should do.
I've heard their long guns are good. It's just their pistols suck.
Yeah, their
right?
pistols suck ass. This is the first one of their long guns I've owned.
The SU-16's a piece of shit too. The KSG, despite being cool, everybody says they're a piece of shit and don't feed right.
Yeah, that KSG is a piece of crap.
I'll give them this though. They're making something new. And honestly, like, sometimes you gotta do a couple of times before you get it right.
Maybe a couple of times, but they've never built anything that fucking works.
I don't know. That new
trying.
so
Here's
bad.
what Kel-Tec is. Here's what Kel-Tec is, and I can only judge based on my now limited experience with this only being the third Kel-Tec I've ever owned. Right, the first one I literally owned for an hour before I gave it back. It was a piece of shit. All right, and they come from an ideology of let's make inexpensive guns that are a step above a Saturday Night Special, okay? That they will function more than a Saturday Night Special. They're not going to just blow up on you, right? And you're going to get sued as a gun company. But these are not high-quality guns. They're going to work, and you're probably going to get, maybe you get 1,000, 2,000 rounds through the thing over the course of its life, which is not a lot for a gun, but it'll still be that gun. And the people that buy it are not going to go and
Can you guys hear me now?
Class. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got you tonight.
Yeah, we got you. They're not
Okay,
gonna take this to a damn class. This is a gun somebody's gonna keep in their car in their nightstand and pull it out. More than likely, when they need to use it, it's gonna work. But this is not a Glock. This gun ain't gonna last 10,000 rounds or 50,000 rounds. It's gonna last maybe a couple thousand rounds over the course of the entire life
And
of
the
the
thing
gun.
is, it's a range toy. If you take it to the range once or twice a year or something, show your friend. I look at those types of guns, actually, especially that crazy shotgun with the two things or whatever. I look at that as to get people who aren't gun people into shooting guns. Because it looks cool and it's sci-fi. And you take it out once a year, you shoot a box of rounds through it, and you're done.
I bought the Sub 2000 for a truck gun when I was still, working over the mountain and commuting every day because I wanted something that took the same magazines as my carry pistol so that I could, go to my truck and get an actual rifle if I needed one. You know what I'm saying? And it was either that or that really expensive Beretta that looks like a dog turd. You know what I'm saying?
I had a CX4.
Yeah,
it was all right, but
it
was pretty ugly.
So did Admiral Adama.
What about that high point?
Hey, that's why I got that gun.
Well, they don't. The high point carbine would be my choice, but they don't make one that takes Beretta 92 magazines.
Right. All right, Sean Carter, you're here now. I wanted to ask, what kind of AR do you have?
He's muted.
He's muted. What the hell?
I don't know. While he's sorting that out, what I was going to say is if you really want to get a new shooter to be like, wow, over a gun, that Whitney Wolverine is the perfect gun for a non-shooter to take interest in guns. Because you can take a Kel-Tec KSG and someone might say, wow, and you put it in their hands and the recoil blasts them into the wall. They're not going to want to shoot anymore. But you give them that Wolverine that only shoots 22 long rifle, it looks like something out of Star Trek. They're going to be enamored by just the style of it. And then when they shoot it a couple, 10, 20 times, they're going to be like, hey, this isn't actually as bad as I thought it was.
All right, well, Sean, you just volunteered. What kind of ARs do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
All right, so actually, coincidentally, just yesterday, I ordered all the parts for my AR build. I started off with an Anderson lower, and I bought an Anderson lower parts kit, but I used a ATI Scorpion X2 recoil grip, the old one with the red stripe on it, and I got a Fab Defense. I think they're called Fab Defense. It's the Magwell like little finger groove grip because I always just thought that was kind of a neat idea. That's how I typically hold it there anyway. And I got a Radical 16-inch upper, 15-inch. It's not a quad rail; it's a key mod rail, but it's got the top and the bottom, already railed out. It's just got the two key mods down the sides. And I bought a Flaming Pig because I just wanted that to stick off the end of it. And what am I leaving out? What am I leaving out?
Now, what caliber is this in?
This is part of what I'm building is a 3 caliber AR. So the lower is just all built for that Radical 5.56 upper for now. But I've already got the 24-inch 6.5 Grendel upper on order, and I've got a 16-inch tank braked 50 Beowulf upper on order too.
Now, remind me, with Grendel, can you use regular? Do you have to use a different lower, or can you use just the regular 5.56 223 lower?
I chose these 3 calibers specifically so I can use the same lower and the same magazines.
Okay. I was just asking because I've not gone into the whole Grendel thing myself yet. So
yeah, they all use standard GI mags if you want. With a 30 rounder, I can put I think it's 16 or 18 rounds of 6.5 Grendel through it. For the 50 Beowulf, it's I think 6 rounds.
Awesome. Is that your only AR? Because you're just making a multi?
Yeah, I'm building a multi. So I figured one size fits all.
Awesome. And Smegs, you're still here, right?
I bought a Velocity trigger group for it too.
Ooh, nice. Smeggy, you there?
Yes, I am.
It's your turn. Tell us about your AR.
I don't like guns. I don't have one.
Wow.
I sold it to buy an AK. No, just kidding.
There you go.
Anyways.
There it is.
Anyways.
No, wait. Now you have to finish that with a Maverick 88 as well.
Smeggy's our token liberal.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting rid of an AR for an AK. I'm just saying.
No, AK Pro's over. It's May 15.
But it's now it's May K47.
Yeah. Well, at least it was yesterday. But anyways, my AR, I built it year before, and it's got a Spikes tactical lower, the Honey Badger, which I think is awesome because the safety is, no bullets, and then don't give a shit.
That's nice.
Let's see, it's got Magpul buttstock on it. The upper was from Palmetto State. It's a stainless steel barrel, nickel boron coated bolt carrier group, Vortex red dot. I put a quad rail on the front. I don't know what quad rail that was. It's just some no-name shit. And then I have a ALG Defense trigger, which is the best $60 I've ever spent. And it was because I was bitching about people who spend too much money on triggers, because I'm like, they're dumb and it's a waste of money. I'm not spending $200 because I suck, and the trigger's not going to make me better. And then someone said, hey, for $60, it's like way better. And
Didn't Dead Horse tell us about that?
I think he might have.
Yeah.
He backed it up. I don't know if he's the one that initially suggested it. It was one of these chats, though.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I ended up getting it, and holy shit. It's like for $60, you get 10 times better trigger. And then, for like $200, it might be, 3 more times better than that. But, like, that's already in the realm that I won't notice the difference because I do suck. It's like putting me in a race car. I'm not going to use the performance a race car has because I suck at driving on a race car,
Right. All right.
That's definitely the law of diminishing returns, man.
Is that your only AR? You just have one?
That's my only AR for now.
All right.
And my
Nothing wrong with
AK is a Hungarian parts kit with Polish furniture on a DDI milled receiver, and it's awesome.
You gotta go and plug that milled receiver, right?
I guess. I mean, honestly, I didn't really care one way or the other, but I liked the other parts of it, so. And it was available. It was in stock. That's the part I liked the best about it.
You were able to buy it. That's what it was.
Yes, I was able to buy it on like April 27th or 28th or something. So I made the deadline.
We totally dropped the ball on AK April, but we're gonna do better next year, right?
We didn't drop the ball. I think we did pretty damn good. We gave away a patch almost every single day. I bought an AK. You bought an AK receiver. I'd say it's close enough.
I still had to go to an FFL and sign a 4473, so it counts.
Yeah, but you didn't have to give your fingerprints.
How come the FAL never gets any love? I mean,
Because
AKs are alright, but like the FAL is like.
No, it's just
if an AK was awesome.
If it was more common, I mean, the AKs are extremely reliable and dependable, and they're extremely common, and they were for a very long time extremely affordable. Now they're kind of starting to lose that in the United States, but yeah, I mean they.
But you used to be able to buy those thumbhole FALs for like $300 and then put real furniture on.
Yeah, but now they're $1,000.
You have to wait till February to talk about the FAL.
February. Huh.
Wow. So Wendy, you're next up on the list.
Mike went dinner.
Yep, I currently have 1.5. Let me turn my camera on my phone here.
Oh, good luck. Make sure you have your pants on.
Oh, we're good. So.
Well, at least one of us has.
So here's the one, the half right now, just an A2 upper on a standard lower, and then we got this thing here is just an A. Like it started out as the A2, but I have shot a lot of coyotes and prairie dogs with this thing, stock furniture and trigger in it, 5-pound trigger, with just a 3-9 scope.
Show us the back end of it, because like we can only see it from the scope up.
Oh, just
there we go.
Can you see it? Yep.
That's good.
So this thing, I've killed a lot of stuff with this. So.
You got the 1 in 12 twist in that, or does it have a more modern twist in it for heavier bullets?
It's a Bushmaster barrel. It's a 1 in 7 twist, and it spins 50 grain bullets just fine. So I've had no issues with it. It shoots about inch and a quarter with hand loads. But like I said, I've shot a lot of coyotes and a lot of prairie dogs with it, so no complaints there.
Awesome. That's what I want to do. I want to go coyote hunting. All right.
I'm
Well,
ready to trap the bastards myself. I don't have time to call them, but
I'll
sure
go and
are a
list
lot
out
of
my
them.
ARs. I'm not going to turn my camera on tonight, but just deal with it. But I've got two.
It's your show.
Yeah, I know. I got 2 AR
Oh, it's
carbines.
your
I've got 3. No, I got 2 mid lengths that I just got done with, and then I have that rifle length I just built. I'm also working on a pistol right now, so there we go. At 6.
Now
I'm
let me ask
getting
you:
to be dead horse.
when you say you build a rifle length, you mean you built a rifle length gas system, or is it a rifle length barrel as well?
It is a rifle length barrel, but I didn't build it. I got it from PSA. They had one.
There's nothing wrong with that.
They-
They've
they
got a
had
whole
one-
kit.
They
for-
had a whole rifle length upper on sale, so I pulled the trigger on that one.
Well, yeah, no, PSA makes good stuff. I mean, in my opinion, if you just want to build a rifle, there's nothing wrong with that. I've done that several times, but I did that at first, and then once that bug was over, and there are all these companies out there like PSA who are making really good quality stuff that's already assembled. To me, unless you just want to build it just for the hell of it, maybe you want to put special parts in, or it's just something that whatever, you just want to do it. There's not really any reason to do it because it's not advantageous really. It doesn't save you any money. I mean, it can, but if you're just willing to look at the right places and wait till like PSA puts something on sale, you can actually save money buying a complete upper or whatever. Like right now, I can buy a complete lower at PSA, pistol lower. Say I want to build myself a pistol, complete pistol lower, mil spec parts, everything set, ready to go. PSA does great quality stuff, $139.99. Now I can't go buy a lower, buy a parts kit, buy the buffer tube and the buffer and the spring and all that stuff for $139.99. So
I have an excess of parts, so if
some people
the lower
do.
is the lower is all I need, then that's I've already
for the
spent the money on
average
the parts.
person, but see, you went out and you bought like an armorer's kit. So you went out and bought like a kit that had like 10 lower parts kits and all this kind of stuff. See, most people
They
don't
didn't have
do
the
that.
buffer tubes. I had to go and get the buffer tubes
Oh, yeah.
separately.
So for the average person, they can actually save money and save time as long as you just take the time to do some research and don't just buy from anybody, because there are some places out there, granted it's a lot fewer than it used to be, but there are still some places out there that have shitty assembly quality. You know what I mean? They're not really taking the time to make sure that, for instance, their gas keys are properly staked.
Oh,
on the bolt
absolutely.
carrier group, stuff like. So as long as you're buying from a reputable, like Palmetto State Armory, you hear me talk about them all the time because they are reputable and they do good quality work. They don't make their own parts. They assemble their uppers, they assemble their lowers, they assemble their complete rifles. Okay, but they use high quality parts from very, very reputable manufacturers, and they have a good reputation for assembling their firearms and their uppers and lowers.
And here's the thing. With their uppers, they actually do test fire I don't know how many shots they do, but I do know that they test fire shots in their barrels and then clean them before they send them out.
So that's why you hear us talk about them specifically a lot, but there are other companies as well. So for some people, though.
But for anyone listening that do not know, I am broadcasting from the Palmetto State. Just saying.
Ooh. Lucky bastard.
No, not really, because I have to pay. I have to pay taxes on all PSA parts I buy.
Yeah.
So it's.
I was thinking about it. Yeah, it's nice to be close to PSA, but I can still order from them. I'd rather be in Texas, so I'm good. But no, I just think you don't have, if you want to build, I recommend everybody, if you've never done it before, absolutely you should build at least one AR from scratch, piece by piece by piece, just so that you know your rifle, so you can say you've done it, so you're familiar with it, and because it is fun. But once it gets past that and it's kind of like, I want an AR, you don't have to. You can actually save money, or at least not spend any more money, by buying complete uppers and complete lowers and slapping them together however you want, and that kind of thing. So
I've disassembled one of my buddy's AR uppers, and I've put it together, and even helped him put a different one together from scratch. And I have to say, it's a pain in the ass. I don't like doing it. It's not that I can't do that, or and it's not that I don't know how to do it. I know how to do it. The problem is I don't like doing it. So I usually just buy my uppers from PSA because they're already test fired, they're already assembled, and I just have to slap it on and go.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is, if something's wrong with it, it's not on your ass. You can send it back.
Plus, it's also warranted.
Yeah, it's warranted. And PSA, again, they're one of these companies. Not only do they have good quality builds, but they have a good reputation for customer service and for warranty. So it just, again,
they are. They are.
Everybody should build
slow, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm kind of in the other boat from you guys on this one. I think buy your first one, but after that, I think I like to build them. I've built 4 over the years, and I don't have a large gun budget, so for me, buying a part a month is kind of the way I go. So that way, over the course of the year, I'm able to acquire
and that's
enough
a good
parts.
point. I mean, that's a good point because you're not. It's not like you can get really good deals at Palmetto State Armory and other places like that where you actually save a little bit of money, but you're still saving money building it piece by piece overall than you would just going and buying a rifle. I mean, you're saving a good chunk of money. You're not going to spend $800 on a rifle. You're going to spend $550 or $600 on it. And if you can't go out and spend $100, $200, $300 at a time, and you can only spend $50 here and there, then it's a lot of fun. It's great. I think everybody should build at least one AR. I'm just saying once it gets to the point to where it's like, okay, I don't need to build another AR because I've done it several times already. You just kind of go, okay, I'm done. I don't mind. I'm about to build another one. Because I just bought a lower and I'm going to go buy a parts kit and that. So I'm going to end up building another one because I want to do this rifle build. But it's not something I need to do. You know what I mean?
Well, I would like to say that I think it's dead horse fever that we all have because he builds ARs like it's a religion. And I'm not kidding because he built so many.
Dead Horse. I see him all the time in these chats, but he has never been actually on any of my chats. He needs to get his ass on here one of these days.
I've asked him. I told him he could totally jump in on hit or miss anytime he wants, and he's like, "No, I'm kind of camera shy. I don't mind doing the whole lobby chats because you're not held to a higher standard if you're doing like a live chat."
Obviously, they weren't here last Wednesday.
I just want to say something you mentioned, buying a piece a month or every couple months or whatever. That was totally my intention, and by the time I got the receiver in my hands,
you can't stop.
An hour and a half later, I had a complete rifle.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop myself.
I have done that more times than I can count.
That's what we call AR-15 fever. It's totally Dead Horse's fault for me, but either way.
Yeah.
Black rifle disease.
The only reason I built mine was because I didn't want to buy one and then upgrade almost everything on it and just have a drawer full of parts. I just wanted to build it the way I wanted it the first time with the parts I wanted. If it was a little bit extra, so be it.
Here's the thing. I built mine back in July of 14, just as all the prices had finally gone down after the whole Sandy Hook scare.
I assembled mine because I vastly prefer AKs, but you can't be an American unless you have an AR.
I got the lower parts kit because I was going to build it myself because I looked at the prices and the prices for assembled rifles, complete rifles, hadn't dropped yet. They were still up at that, even in 2014, they were still up in those high levels because they haven't, I guess they haven't replenished the stocks, is what it was.
Yeah.
You could still be an American without an AR. Because before the AR, there was 4570 lever actions.
Well, let's put it this way. You can be an American without an AR, but you must have. If you don't have an AR, or a lever action, or at the very least a pump shotgun, then you cannot consider yourself a true American.
I'm going to go one further and say if you don't have a 1911.
Yeah, if you haven't, now I currently do not have a 1911. That's because I buy them and sell them and buy them and sell them.
Do you have a 500 Magnum?
And I've talked about this before. Is because I love 1911s. My first handgun was a 1911, so I have an affinity for them. But in my opinion, they are an outdated design. And I love them for the American classic that they are, and they're incredibly accurate, and they're beautiful guns, and they're fun to play with. You're saying But
A 105-year-old gun is outdated.
Wait a minute.
I know it's
I don't
crazy.
think
isn't it?
Matt's seen that new 17 round
Matt.
10 millimeter one.
Yeah, that 8-pound fucking handgun. Yeah. I'll take my Glock 21 over any 1911 any day of the week.
No, they've got Rock Island just came out with a new double stack 10 millimeter. It weighs 2.5 pounds.
Wow, yeah, because I'm gonna carry that son of a bitch. I'm just saying, I love with a passion 1911s, but they are an old design. There are better guns out there that if you're gonna carry something for defense or just have it for a defensive tool, I'd rather have a Glock 21 or something like that. Does that mean I don't like 1911s? No, I love 1911s. They're fucking great. But I'm not gonna look at it and go, oh well,
I'll meet you halfway.
It's not the pinnacle of defensive firearms anymore.
Range toy now for you.
It's a beautiful gun. I would love, like if I ever get into open carrying, now that we can do it in Texas, which I still haven't gotten into it yet, but whenever I do that, I'll probably buy another 1911. I'll probably open carry a 1911. It's a beautiful gun. I love 1911s. That'll give me a reason to buy another 1911 because I always buy them. And then as soon as
Taurus 1911.
Hold on, let me jump in real quick. Matt, I'll meet you halfway and say, if you haven't at least owned a 1911 at some point, you're not an American.
Exactly, and I'll say the same thing about shotguns. If you have never owned a shotgun, then you're not American. That's all I'm going to say.
But I'm not an American. I got 1911s and ARs, so.
Wow.
I was going to add.
Can I just take a poll here real quick? Let me just take a poll here real quick.
Hmm?
Who in here? Let's see. Wendy, do you own a shotgun?
Yeah, I own like 5 of them.
All right. Smeggy, do you own a shotgun?
Yes, I own a shotgun.
Sean, do you own a shotgun?
Benelli M3.
Lee, do you own a shotgun?
Yeah, I've got like 12 of them or something.
Heavy, do you own a shotgun?
I do, but it's not a Maverick 88.
Okay. Night Strike.
Comrade Night Strike, do you own a shotgun?
No, yet. I do not own shotgun.
I'm just giving you shit.
I know you're giving it shit.
I'm just giving you shit.
I am looking at getting that Stevens 67 because it's the exact same as the 77.
Dude, did you see it? Check out my Instagram. I just took a picture of my 67 today because the one that I bought for my son. In fact, here, shit, it's on Instagram, so I'll have to look it up. But
I'll just look it up.
It's we were because I was talking to you about it today. I bought a Stevens 67. I did a video on it a while back. I bought a Stevens 67 for my son. I can't remember, however long ago it's been. I don't remember what it is. But you were talking about it today, and you were talking about doing like a trench gun thing and all that kind of stuff. And
right.
And anyway, so I was like, oh, that sounds like an awesome idea. So here, I'm gonna show you guys what and this is a shitty picture from Instagram, but I know you can't see this very well, but I had an extra heat shield that me and my son went and put on it, and it's got an 18.5-inch barrel with the heat shield. It looks all old school. It looks like a trench gun. Now, I've been looking around. You can't find bayonet lugs that fit these damn things. You just can't.
You can get I found a place that does them, but they don't do them for the 77s. They do them for all the World War II and the World War I models. But they do say that if you get the 12-gauge one for, like I think it was like the Winchester 97 one, you can affix it to, just literally any 12-gauge.
Oh, that's cool. Because I was looking around today because I was like,
but the issue is you're not gonna be able to use if you wanted to build a Vietnam specific one, you're not gonna be able to use the one that uses the Garand bayonet. You're only going to be able to use the 1917 bayonet, which is ridiculously long for.
Awesomely long.
For you're basically turning a 12-gauge shotgun into a fucking spear at that point.
You can roast shish kebabs with it.
You can roast shish kebabs, Germans, whatever.
I really like those corncob foregrips, like on those old shotguns. I need to get a pump shotgun that's got a grip like that on it.
So
Yeah,
that's what I was looking at doing, and Matt just went and jumped the gun and totally stole my project. I'm gonna give you shit tomorrow for that.
No, hey, I was the one. I already own a Savage 67. Come on, man, you can't give me shit for that. All you did was say, "Oh, I want to turn it into a trench gun." I was like, "That's cool. I already have a heat shield sitting here, and I have a 67. Let me just put the two together." It's not like I stole your thunder.
You totally stole my thunder.
Granted, I did.
You posted a
post it all
picture
over
before I did.
Instagram,
So
and I'm probably do a video on it before you do yours.
Night Strike,
No,
you're
I'm just
missing
kidding.
a golden opportunity to scream "Lion Matt, Lion Matt."
Lion Matt!
He stole your platform.
he stole my
No, but seriously though, the Savage 67 is, I mean, it looks like a trench gun. I mean, even though the 67 came out back in the 60s, it looks like a World War II trench gun. Yeah,
and here's the thing: the next model up was a 77E, which the United States
that's what
Army
they used. Yeah, that was
adopted. And they used
that
in
up until
Vietnam.
the 80s. They used that up until the 80s.
And here's the thing: the 77, the internals are the exact same as the 67.
It just holds more rounds. That's the thing.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just there's only one difference. I think it was like one small rib was the difference between the 77 and the 67.
So it only has a 4-round magazine too?
I'm pretty sure they have the same rounds.
Oh, really? Yeah. That was the only downside about the Model 67 is it only has a 4-shot tube as opposed to a 5-shot, which most shotguns now have.
Which here's the thing: you can get a 77 and put it on a 67. It'll fit.
Just get a Viper 12 man and be done.
It won't. It's not gonna. The magazine tube is because the barrel is pressed into the receiver. It doesn't. The barrel does not come off of those things, and the barrel has the lug that holds your magazine tube on, so you can't move that. If you buy a 67, you cannot. There's nothing you can do to modify it. I mean, I guess you could heat up and pull out the barrel and put a 77 barrel on there and 70. But at that point, why would you just buy a 77? You know
All
what I
right, Sean brought up an excellent question.
That's not the question to ask.
No, we're not asking that question. But we should do a DPG. It's that time.
We should do a DPG. And let's see. What's the question we should ask for the DPG? I got a question. Let me see. And whoever on Gun Channels can answer this quickest will win the DPG. I'm just going to hijack your DPG.
Go for it.
Is Donald Trump a conservative? Whoever has the right answer first
question
gets the DPG.
It's a yes or no question.
This is literally just whoever can get to the keyboard first.
More than
like
Hillary?
last week when we said,
now remember they're lagging behind a few seconds, so it's going to take a minute. Oh, Yoder got it. Yoder got it.
All right, let me hijack it back. Go to gunchannels.com/DPG, fill out your information, and get yourself a patch.
And just hang on though, just so you know, I did see something on the main page where G-Web said that the daily patch giveaway was going to be like on hiatus or whatever.
Okay, well,
probably because he's about to go on his road trip.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's not gonna be there because he makes these patches. So he's got the machine.
Well, he makes some, and some of them were given to him, some of them were donated, some of them he just picked up along the way.
Well, he hasn't told me to stop yet, so I'm just gonna.
And that's fine. I'm just saying that it may be a while. I'm sure, the emails will just stack up, and eventually maybe I know he has friends.
Well, we'll keep everybody apprised of what's going on the chats. I mean, you do yours on Tuesday. I'm doing 3 a week. So between us, because we're really on chats that really matter. We'll figure out. No, I'm just kidding. And so do G-Web's daily chats. Yankee doesn't count. But
thank you. Finally, someone agrees with me.
So anyway, but no, I'm still on Yankees chat every other week. But anyway,
yeah.
So you can check me out there if you care about my
privileged bastard.
Oh, there it is. Hey, I am half responsible for Yankee being who he is, so I get some credit for that. Anyway,
and I guess you're probably half responsible for me being who I am. So we'll go.
No, you did your shit on your own, man.
No, I had help.
I'm an enabler.
Yeah, it's totally Smeggy's fault. Smeggy's like, "Hey, Night Strike, we should do a show," and I'm like, "Okay, let's do a show."
Nice.
Yeah, and look how awesome it turned out. So don't be giving me shit.
Yeah, I'm not giving you shit. I'm giving you props, man. Take credit where credit's due. Goddamn it.
Let's all take a minute and give props to G-Webs and gun channels, because without that, I mean, I'd still be doing blog TV and shit. but no, seriously though, but there's a lot of people that, I mean, everybody in here, I would not probably know. I mean, maybe I'd know some of you guys from YouTube, but you probably wouldn't be in on any of the chats when I do chats on Mondays or Wednesdays or on the weekend or anything, and you guys wouldn't be doing chats more than likely. I mean, maybe a couple of you would have gotten into doing the Google Hangouts and turning them into videos, but probably only if you were already doing videos on YouTube. That's the only reason I would still be doing these chats, is because I was already doing videos on YouTube, so it's kind of a natural way to roll over. But without gun channels, there's a lot of people we would not be able to get together. I wouldn't know you or Sean or Sean or the other Sean, because there's like 5 Seans on gun channels.
Yeah, what about Sean?
And then there's Sean. Let's not forget Sean. I need to mention Sean, but no, and Dano and Heavy B. I mean, I would know DB because he was around before gun channels in all his drunken glory. But other than that, there's almost nobody there. And
we can't forget the ever great and malevolent Burrito.
Yeah, Burrito. Well, Burrito's been around since the very beginning. Burrito is the man. He's been around.
But he gets on the gun channels too.
No, he does. He's solid on gun channels, and he's kind of grown with everything. But no, I mean, that's what's cool about gun channels. So we can all take responsibility for whoever we want, But gun channels made a big difference for a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people doing hopping in on these chats that would not be doing it, and we wouldn't even know each other without that shit. So
yeah,
check the gun channel side, Matt. Check at Yoder's comment. It's hilarious.
Oh Lord, what did he say? I was just gonna ask who.
Yonder, Texas identifies as Sean.
It spelled Night Strike wrong, but that's okay, Yoder.
Well,
and notice Yoder, I'm getting your name right. I stopped saying Yonder, Texas, and started saying Yoder, Texas, because for a long time when I see Yoder, because I'm from Texas, because I'm from Texas, and in Texas, yonder is a word. It means over there. Where is it?
It's a word
it's
most
yonder
of the
way.
South.
You know what I mean? It's a southern word, right? So when I see Yoder, my brain automatically adds the N, and I think yonder. And so for literally probably 2 years, every time I would see him, I referred to him in the chats as Yonder, Texas. So I have fixed that problem, Yoder. Thank you very much. It took a while, but I finally fixed it. Anyway, sorry, I'm hijacking Night Strike's chat, so that's all right.
It's fine. I'll hijack yours tomorrow. As I said, Sushi.
What? Huh? What?
Yeah, right.
What? This isn't an Asian show. Misho Shusho.
I was like Mikasa, Sukasa, that kind of thing.
Yes, thank you. I'll let my wife you speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't understand Spanish, even though you're from a border state.
I don't speak Spanish, and I'm married to somebody who is Hispanic, so that's how bad it is. Right? So, my kids are half Hispanic, and I don't speak fucking Spanish.
All right. I think we got to kill this before we say something incriminating.
I've got a song. I've got a song we can play ourselves out on if you want. So if you're ready to shut it, you let me know when you're ready to shut it down. I will play us out.
I think it is time to go for it.
It's time. All right. So start saying your goodbyes. Here we go. Let's say your goodbyes.
Check me out on Instagram.
Yeah.